Alright, I hope this is working. I've just woken up. It's evening time here, and I just found out that there's been turmoil in the Middle East. From what I've gathered, the United States and Israel have attacked Iran, and Iran has retaliated. And now several countries have been dragged into it. They've been caught in the crossfire. And I don't know really what to say. Will there ever be peace in the Middle East? It seems that they're always fighting over there, and I just think to myself, Iran, what are you doing? You should just surrender. You're fighting the only superpower left in the world. And that's Israel and America together, joined at the hip. And you're not going to defeat the superpower. They're the only superpower left. So, I would say the same for Ukraine. What are you doing fighting Russia? Look at the map. Russia's like, God, it must be 25, 26 times the size of Ukraine. Maybe it's 50 times the size of Ukraine. You're now going to beat the Russians. You should just surrender and accept everything that's put on the table. Likewise with Iran, you should just accept everything that's put on the table. When you realise that you're under the yoke of a superpower, you just got to get with the programme, And if that means that you've got to smile like Ronald McDonald and drink your cola and eat hot dogs and accept all sorts of sexual perversity, well, that's just the way it is, and you've got to accept it. Just surrender. Surrender. I've often got people on my channel on about the Irish and saying that the Irish fought the British or the English for 800 years, and they're saying that it's great. But, why didn't you just surrender on day one and you would have saved 800 years of fighting, I just don't get it. People are very strange. I, for one, I'm like a snail, as soon as someone touches me, me feelers go in and stick my head back into my shell. I get terrified. I think people should just surrender to whatever the power structure is. You're not going to win. You don't have a chance. You don't have a chance. The best thing to do is surrender and hope that they won't kill you after you've surrendered. It's better to at least have the hope rather than to fight a war that you're not going to win. So they're my 2 pennies on a situation that is still evolving. It's still evolving, but when I found out about it and I started looking on the Twitter, it looked like typical story, and the underdog against the overdog, and I think I was thinking the other day that you think of those tribes, those lost tribes in the Brazilian Amazon rainforest, and they've had no contact with civilization, and as soon as they've been discovered, within 24 hours they're looking at Netflix and they're downloading porn, and thousands and thousands of years of their Indian culture is just obliterated overnight, and that's because they have to surrender to the world power. That's just the way it is, and I think we could all take a leaf from that book, and that's all I got to say. So if you're being bullied at school, and just surrender to the bully, because he's obviously bigger and stronger than you are. Just hand over your lunch money. Get down on your hands and knees if that's what the bully demands. I don't think this is difficult, people. I don't think this is difficult.